I want to work less, get paid more, and have more holidays.
We're Cultor Agus Crack. My name is James, this is Noel. We're both here today in the Epic Museum in the CHQ building. So up and towards the pandemic, we're both tour guides, and today we're going to show one of our big attractions here in the city.
Yeah, visitors would always ask us for recommendations, whether that's pubs, museums or whatnot. And of everything I'd always recommend Epic. We even have the place to ourselves today, which is deadly.
We're coming up in the world.
Coming up in the world. So we're inside Epic now, the Emigration Museum. It's made up of 20 different galleries that tells the story of the Irish and the effect that it had on the world.
When you actually arrive here at the desk, when you first pay for admission, you get a passport, and each section then you can get your passport stamped.
Welcome to Epic. How are you today? Is it exciting?
Very good, yeah.
Generally it takes about an hour and a half to do it. There's interactive displays. By the end of it, hopefully you're going to learn what Epic stands for.
And also there's guides throughout the area as well if you have any questions, but it is very much self-guided and very interactive.
So we're in the fourth section titled An Open Island, and basically what it represents is the waves of people literally going out to sea, departing this island.
And you've got scenes of the Irish landscape and countryside, famous scenes. And what you would have been missing, I suppose, when you left these
Giant's Causeway, Connemara, bit of Wicklow.
The open island.
This is essentially the Game of Thrones meeting Irish immigration, I suppose. It tells the tale of how people have left this island over the millennia, starting off in a ship that St. Brendan himself would have, or said have, gone to Canada on. Over 1500 years ago, right up to the aviation period at the end. As you can see, there was a huge shift in the middle of the 19th century. The steam engines were the flood of Irish people leaving this island after the famine. Well, you can imagine over the centuries there'll be many reasons why people were left this island. Whether it was religion, tensions, hunger, desperation, and for love.
Yeah. Opportunity, in search of a new life, jobs, work.
Our General Cromwell showed no mercy towards Catholic scum.
I mean, you didn't even think pre-famine we had almost 8 million. And by the 1960s we had 3 million now.
We have many in safe custody for the Barbados.
And a good riddance. If they survive the voyage, a life of servitude is more than they just deserve.
From the 1850s right up until the 1920s, it's estimated that over 5 million people left this island.
There are over 70 million people living on this globe who claim Irish descent.
So one of the best things about this museum is that it's not just facts and figures, it actually brings the personal stories across, and you can actually see the life experience that people had leaving this island.
Conceived in sin, 'tis better for Ireland little Mary is adopted and grows up in America.
So apart from the obvious, some of the things that Irish people brought with them when they left this country was music, which heavily influenced bluegrass, country and western music in the United States, and of course, more recently, river dance. When you're ready, 2 Guinness, 2 Jimmies, 2 large Jimmies, and a bag of chips, please.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the tunes and airs and melodies were transported across the ocean, and a lot of times the lyrics were then changed to suit the environment or the place or the time. So you got all different kind of Cayley bands as well behind us here. Probably the most famous would be the Clancy Brothers and Tommy Macon. So that's why a lot of the old Irish tunes and airs, you can still kind of hear them in a lot of the music Noel was mentioning. And that kind of syncopated beat, that's what we're all about. 6/8 times and the rashers and sausages, slip jigs, hornpipes, all that sort of crack.
Do you remember the name of the animal that can do that?
A bonobo. Noel and Tara are actually wearing their iconic jumpers here today. They're Gansies. Inspired by the Clancy Brothers.
I was up all night making this bleeding thing.
Me too.
Spitfire Paddy. I like that one.
Considering Ireland's only a population of 6.5 million, including our friends up north, it always made me proud going around the world how many people know about St. Patrick's Day. And as you can see from this room, many famous buildings around the world obviously light themselves up green, whether they have a connection with Ireland or not. And this is one of my favourite parts of the whole exhibition. It just makes me feel a little extra proud to be Irish. Because looking around this room, you can see many people around the world, whether they have a connection to Ireland or not, they know who we are. We've made a stamp. As I've travelled and met so many people, and they find out you're Irish, more often than not, they greet you with a smile. And that's what this room reminds me of.
This is one of my favourite sections. It's the music section, and it shows you different Irish bands and artists and Irish music, but also then people that had Irish descent, like the Smiths, for example, artists whose family were Irish or they themselves were born in Ireland and immigrated abroad. So Nirvana here as well, you know, Kurt Cobain drew on his Irish influences. People you wouldn't really suspect as well. I mean, more obvious ones like the Pogues, Shane MacGowan and whatnot.
Bit of Rory.
Rory Gallagher, I think one of the best blues guitarists that ever lived. Pretty underrated as well across the globe. So we just finished our walkthrough of the exhibition itself. We're up here where every exhibition finishes, the gift store. But what makes this place so great is actually what's behind us here, the Irish Family History Centre.
For a very reasonable fee, even including your ticket, you'll be able to have access to the computers that are normally behind us to access the census records and marriage certificates, all this sort of stuff. But if you want to take it further, the in-house genealogist, you can pay a fee and they will work with you further down the line, which up to a few years ago cost thousands.
I've been here quite a few times, but you always learn something new. You always see something that will catch your eye. You always learn extra information. Brilliant for visitors that want to get an introduction into Ireland, especially those that have Irish roots, but even if you don't, there's so much good information here. And it's a great way to start your journey in Ireland, I think, is to come here and to learn a little background into Irish people and the influence we've had abroad. But also then, obviously great for Irish people. And I always feel really proud when I walk through it. And sometimes you forget, you know, about being Irish and the Irishness and all that, and the influence that we have had abroad. So it kind of reiterates that for me, definitely, and I think for any Irish person walking through here, you'd be leaving with a sense of pride.